I hope now you can see the screen.
Not yet.
The screen is coming, it's coming, it's coming. I hope
Yeah,
now you
it's
can
there.
see
I
the
can see.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, today is LME 3701 Research topic 2024. Then we are going straight to the question. The question, the research saying you work at a law firm that specializes in family law. You are consulted by a man with his male partner. They explain to you that they had just had a baby through a surrogate, and when they went to the Department of Home Affairs, they were not allowed to register as the child's parents due to the fact that they were not married at the time of the birth. You are tasked with researching the law of the rights on the rights of the parents of children conceived through surrogacy. You must focus on the rights of the parents. So you are going to focus on the rights of the parents. This will include any relevant constitutional rights. You must choose whether you are researching the topic using historical approach or the comparative approach. Write a draft research proposal for a prospective postgraduate study on how the law deals with such issues. Focus on the legislative framework, commission reports, case law writings by scholars. When writing your proposal, you have two options. Number one is to write about the historical approach. Number two is a comparative research, which you have to compare the South African law, how they deal with surrogacy, and how they deal with surrogacy in England. So those are two things. And you must make it clear when you are writing so that they know whether you're writing about historical or you are writing about the comparative. However, you will always compare if you are doing comparative. Uh, but I can assure you, comparative is still the same as research because you have to research the law first until you understood it. Then after that, you go and understand the law of England. Then you compare it. So it's much time consuming, that one. But if you want to be an international lawyer, then it will be a very good for you, good start for you to go for comparative, because you'll be comparing. So comparative is good if you're going to be an international lawyer. We are going far. You're able to compare the law of different countries. So yeah, we read the question. The question is focusing on their rights. Number one that you must take into account when you're writing your research is that you are focusing on the people who are married, who are entered into a life partner. So you are focusing on the civil union. What does civil union says? So you must know that there should be a civil union act on your side to check whether there is anything about civil union talking about surrogacy. It's number one that you must take into account, Civil Union Act, because you are dealing with a man with his male life partner. So this kind of a marriage are done through a Civil Union Act, not a Civil Marriage Act. So Civil Marriage Act, Matrimonial Act is based on those two, male and female. Then we have a Civil Union Act, which are based on those that are from the same genders. Now, let's start with the introduction. How you going to intro this one? You must know that the assignment must start with an introduction, which is a very beginning aspect of your research. The introduction must be neat and must state it clear So when I was reading this journal article, I realized that I will send you this journal article. I realized that if you come and actually summarize this introduction, well, you will have noted down everything that must be done on the introduction. So this one is a very good journal article which you can read and able to summarize. So even in the introduction, to put introduction as like this, just to summarize this introduction, you'll go far on this one. So it says that the provision contained in Chapter 19 of the Children's Act 38 of 2005, you must know that you'll be dealing with Children Act because you are dealing with the rights of the parents. So anything that relate to children, you must know that is governed or regulated by Children's Act 38 of 2005. Address the element pertinent to formal surrogate motherhood agreement. So this one is basically on the surrogate motherhood agreement. Parties who wish to exercise their reproductive rights by making use of surrogacy are required to enter into a written agreement that results in the complete transfer of parental responsibilities and rights from the surrogate mother to the commissioning parents once the child is born. Contracting parties are furthermore instructed to approach the High Court for the confirmation of surrogacy agreement before the artificial insemination of the surrogate mother is allowed to take place. Okay, let me put it here because I can't see some. Let me put this one here. Oh yeah. Then concern arises, however, when commissioning parents do not adhere the requirements prescribed in Chapter 19. This occurred in ex parte MC in the Confirmation of Surrogate Motherhood Agreement 2024, notwithstanding the non-compliance. The court, having considered the best interest of the as yet unborn child, ratified the surrogacy agreement ex post facto. The High Court decision, and then there is, and they given the many references or footnotes, best interest of the child. Commissioning parents who circumvent the protocol provided in Chapter 19 will be able to do so in matters where it could be demonstrated that it serves the best interest of the child. Such circumvention would, however, render relevant positions in Chapter 19 moot. These possibilities allude to a need to reconsider the manner in which the High Court implements the principles of the best interest of the child when rectifying inadequate surrogacy agreements. This article reflects on the manner in which the best interest of the child is interpreted and applied in inadequate surrogate motherhood agreements. The court's decision-making process in ex parte MS will be analyzed as point of departure. So now you have already have a point of departure in your in your in your assignment. Remember, when you are writing LME, there's a point of departure. I hope you have you know about this one, right?
Yes.
Yes. So this case will be a point of departure. However, then a brief comparative discussion of the concurrent practice of a formal surrogacy in the United Kingdom will be conducted. So you have seen that when we're dealing with that one, we showed you that there's a comparative and there's a historical. So for those that will be going through the law of United States, they will come and read this issue under the United Kingdom. Not only has the United Kingdom been regulating surrogacy since 1985, but it was also recorded an estimated number of 149 children born to surrogates a year. Legislation in the United States furthermore provides for the ex post facto adoption of the children born from surrogate motherhood agreements by means of parental order, similar to the agreement provided in Section 22 of the Children's Act. This contribution will illustrate how and why Section 22, 28, and Chapter 15 of the Children's Act can serve as viable alternatives for commissioning parents who did not meet the requirements provided in Chapter 19. So, with this, if you are writing about comparative, it's very much important to also summarize the issue of United Kingdom. However, if you are not writing about the
Just so yeah, just to make it clear before we go for, just wanted to say that I think I chose to write about historical approach, so we can just, I think you can just go straight without explaining on the comparative perspective.
are you sure? I think maybe you will find comparative being easier than than historical. I mean, you may find that you are doing well on the first part, but when you go forward, you find that
Mm.
the comparative maybe
Uh,
is writable than historical. But anyway, we'll be focusing on historical, no problem. Then it means that this one of United Kingdom, you will omit those things. Then that was introduction, which on your time you will be able to summarize. I'll send you these documents, and then on your time you will be going through this one, and you will be summarizing this document. I think that this one. The introduction here is very clear and sound, and it is in line with your topic, your research topic. Then when you have finished this one, I want us now to go to the number two, which will be what number